everyone, I'm here with another YouTube video about YouTube. This time I'm going to talk about media grammar and how it relates to YouTube in general and then to a specific YouTuber. I'm going to talk about media grammar through the lens of work by Joshua Meyerowitz, who's a media scholar and a professor at the University of New Hampshire. So Meyerowitz wrote an article called Multiple Media Literacies, where he started by laying out 3 different kinds of media literacy. The first was media content literacy, which is the idea that media holds and sends messages directly to the viewers. The second is media grammar literacy, which is the idea that each form of media or each medium is its own language, and it gives off different meanings and therefore understandings based on the different mediums. Meyerowitz wrote about media grammar literacy that it entails understanding and recognizing the standard range of production variables within each medium, as well as recognizing the ways in which the variables are typically used to attempt to shape perception and response to mediated communications. The third is medium literacy, which is the idea that each form of media is an environment, and one must grasp the influence of the relatively fixed characteristics of each medium. Meyerowitz also wrote a piece called Television and Interpersonal Behavior, Codes of Perception and Response. In this work, he extended work by other theorists into his work about media grammar and television. There's more definitions to come, but I'm going to pause to introduce the case study that I'll be talking about in this video. Today I'm going to talk about My Drunk Kitchen, a series of YouTube videos created by YouTuber Hannah Hart. The first video was created in 2011, and since then she's consistently created about 50 more. I'm focusing on media grammar, so I'm going to try to avoid talking about what she actually says or the content of her videos. Of course, that's interesting and funny and important, but for this video I'm going to focus most on the production variables and how they influence the viewer. So in that piece I just mentioned, Meyerowitz begins by talking about proxemics, an idea that he's borrowing from Edward T. Hall. The idea of proxemics focuses on interpersonal distance, and Meyerowitz focuses on how close or how far away people stand when they're talking, and when they're talking to people that they have different relationships with. He gives 4 distinct spatial differences. He calls them the intimate distance, personal, social, and public. Though when we watch My Drunk Kitchen episodes, we're not actually with Hannah Hart. She stands at a distance and makes her videos in a way that makes it seem like we could be there with her in her kitchen. You can see an example of that in this clip.
Young man, you're a sensitive guy. I said, young man, well, it's okay to cry. I said, young man, it is better to have complex emotions than to kill somebody.
We're placed at a distance from her that a casual friend might stand, and we're also at eye level, probably placed on a tripod. We're standing far enough away from her that it's not uncomfortable, or it wouldn't seem uncomfortable, but we're close enough that you can tell that she's talking directly to us as a viewer. Meyerowitz wrote that a shot may show only his head or only his head and shoulders, or it may picture his whole body with varying amounts of space around it. In a particular shot, therefore, the way in which a person is framed may suggest an interpersonal distance between the person and the viewer. When Meyerowitz talked about proxemics in his work, he called it paraproxemics, and he focused most on the relative size of a figure inside a frame. So in his case, a television, but in our case, it would be our computer when we're watching a YouTube video. You can see that with me too. I'm casually sitting down, and I'm also a little bit closer to the camera than Hannah is in her videos. That could give off the impression to a viewer that we're closer friends than a viewer might be with Hannah, or also that I'm presenting information that you need to pay attention to, while Hannah is just doing funny things that you can laugh at and casually watch and not pay too much attention. Meyerowitz also borrowed from Irving Goffman, who talked about impression management. Impression management is the idea that we and other people are always managing the impression that we give off to other people. He said that everyone has a back region and a front region, the back region being behaviors and our personality that we might show only when we're alone or with our close family and friends. The front region is the part of our personality that we put on when we're in certain situations. So for example, a teacher is going to have a different personality type when they're teaching as opposed to when they're like in a bar with their friends. Meyerowitz extended these ideas into his research on television, and he called it parasocial impressions. He argued that on television, and we argue that on YouTube, viewers are placed into either the back region or the front region of someone's life. If they're placed into the back region, it creates a relationship and we become teamed with them. A common type of video on YouTube is vlogging. In vlogging, the viewer is definitely placed in the back region of that person's life. On My Drunk Kitchen, we're not placed as much in Hannah's back region. We are still kind of teamed with her. We are positioned as her friends or people who are in on the joke. Hannah has been making My Drunk Kitchen videos for a long time now. One thing that has definitely improved in her videos is her video resolution. So you can see that comparison in this video, which is her first video.
Well, hello. Welcome to My Drunk Kitchen.
Why is it foaming?
Babe, shit is getting real over here.
And that's beautiful.
Versus this video, which is a newer video made in 2015.
Boop boop. Hello. My February tomatoes are quite firm.
Oh, yeah.
Should I be measuring? Nah. I like you guys. This is a fun show.
The resolution improvement can have different impacts on how the viewer sees the video. One impact can be that we feel like we're seeing the action through our own eyes, so we're more authentically there. Aside from the resolution change, not much has changed in terms of the content of Hannah's videos. Another thing that hasn't changed is the way she edits them. She still edits them herself, she doesn't have a team, and she also still uses the same jump cut style editing that she did in the beginning. The fact that she edits her videos herself makes her seem more authentic, which is very important in the YouTube world. My Drunk Kitchen is also a relatively short show. The episodes range between 3 and 7 minutes, so people can watch them in their spare time with any free time that they might have. So that's my analysis of My Drunk Kitchen. Meyerowitz's ideas transfer really easily into YouTube and probably into other mediums that we don't even know about yet. Through his ideas, we're able to analyze things about the videos or shows that we're watching that we might not notice if we were just paying attention to what was just being said. Until next time, bye.